everyone for joining us on this auspicious day of Diwali. I have my beautiful altar here behind me and with Mother Lakshmi. Oh, wow, the light is shining on her. Well, all right. So I'm going to start today by talking a little bit about the significance of Diwali and what the festival of lights means and why we invoke Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, on this day. And she's and a little bit about her and her birth and all of that, and a tiny little bit about the astrology, because as you all know, I work with both Western and Vedic astrology, and then we will do a very specific ritual which will help release any kind of negativity, conditioning, or even curses, hexes, and spells around abundance for you and your ancestry, and after that, offer all the things to Lakshmi that she loves in order to invoke her presence. Now, rituals are very big in India, and I also wanted to explain a little bit about the significance of a ritual. Some people wonder why rituals are necessary when you can just meditate and bring in the energy of the goddess, and all of that is beautiful. Rituals are just a specific way to invoke specific things. So in the Vedas, there are many specific solutions to different problems. For instance, someone having a court issue is going to, give them a specific ritual, and so on and so forth. So it goes into a lot of depth, but the idea is to invoke the energy of that particular deity or energy or essence in the universe. And as you do that, you are showing your dedication to them. So if you do not have some material for the ritual, but at least the fact that you tried to get it, you're showing them their love. But other than that, they'll accept whatever you provide with your love. But I'm here because I have all the specific ingredients right here, and we will be doing a thorough ritual for invoking the goddess. And after that, I'm going to take you, time permitting, on a meditation to invoke her essence, for those of you who relate more to that slow, energetic space more than rituals. So I'll do a little bit of both. So let me start by talking about Diwali. Everyone can hear me clearly, right? Scott, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. All right, thank you. So Diwali is known as the Festival of Lights. It spans over several days, and the main days start Vagbaras, which was 2 days ago, and then Dhanteras, which is actually the day of Goddess Lakshmi, when you worship all of your, whatever carries money for you, so business accounts, cash registers, and all of that. So you kind of give importance to that, and you bring in Lakshmi and you put her on your stove, because on Dhanteras you don't just celebrate Lakshmi, but Dhanvantri, which is the god of Ayurveda, which brings in health, and they say that they always go hand in hand, because without any health, all your wealth is useless, and it is through your health that you can generate more wealth. So that is celebrated, which is why you put Lakshmi on your stove, or a place where you cook, or your kitchen, and you just invoke her presence there. And Ayurveda, and then you work with coriander seeds and coriander, and you put a new coriander plant, so that brings in the Ayurvedic essence of Dhanvantri. And that was day before yesterday. And then yesterday is Kali Chaudas, which is the dark night. Now, Diwali, the festival of lights, is literally, the meaning of it is victory of light over darkness. And it's celebrated for many different reasons. So Lord Rama was exiled for many, many years because his stepmother wanted his brother to be on the throne, and he was the rightful heir of the kingdom. And after the exile, when he was returning back, is the day of Diwali. So it's like the darkness had ended, and he paid his dues, and he's returning back to the kingdom. And he was celebrated by lots and lots of lights that they laid down on the floor, and that's one of the things. And at Jainism, there is other different aspects as well, and where the return of their prophet is celebrated, and Buddhism also has it. So many different religions celebrate it for many different reasons, but the idea is it is the victory of light over darkness. And with that essence, we are invoking the victory of light over darkness inside of us. All of the mythology and everything that happens on the outside, the essence of the whole and the crux and the message is for that to come from within you, and how we fight the darkness within us. So Kali Chaudas a lot of times syncs in with Samhain or Halloween, and essentially these are the days of fall, which are very magical when the layers are very thin. When two worlds meet, the layers are the thinnest. And as we move from one season to the other, the fall is that season where layers are very thin. And that Kali Chaudas is the no moon day, the day before the new moon, of the Krishna Paksha month, which is a Vedic calendar month, which happens around end of October, November, around this time. And the Vedic calendar just shifts a little bit every year because it doesn't have the leap month, the leap year month. So that was the no moon day. And then we move into the new moon day, which is today. So today is the new moon. Diwali always falls on a new moon. And a lot of you know that new moons are all about new beginnings. We've all done a lot of moon circles, and some of you are familiar that this is about brand new beginnings. So on the day of Kali Chaudas, people will like sweep their houses, clean their houses, remove all the dirt. But it's not just the houses, it's like a purge time. You open all your closets and you purge whatever is not necessary, signifying that you don't get happiness from your physical things, and it's time to let some things go to make space for the new. And you do that, and you donate that to the poor. It's a great time to make any donations, because abundance comes, like there is a flow to it. You give and then you get in return. So that all of that is the significance of Diwali, which resets the year. But when the on the new moon of the Krishna Paksha, when the layers are so thin, when you do specific rituals on that day that invokes the essence of Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is the beautiful goddess of prosperity. The mother goddess has many different forms, and she comes in everything from the ferocious form of Mother Kali, who helps you release anything that's not good for you, to this beautiful Venusian Palladian form of Lakshmi, who is laden with she's always dressed in white and red and auspicious colors and laden with gold. And what she signifies is the presence of beauty and peace in your life. It's not just about prosperity and money coming in, but it's about beauty and peace. And all on Diwali, we light up our homes, we clean them, we light them, we put string lights up and a lot of different lamps, and always have fire burning, like candles burning, because she loves to come. They say that she makes her rounds, and when she comes and she sees any home which is unclean, or if there is like arguments going on and all of that, or sadness, that she leaves. But if she sees a clean home which is lit up, and has has calmness and a good energy, then she comes in and she fills it up with even more good energy. So she actually is the goddess that helps with peace of mind, which a lot of people don't know, but she brings in that energy as well. It's not just the external prosperity, but it is the internal prosperity as well that she brings in. So, all right, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to start by telling you a little bit, one more thing about the birth of Mother Lakshmi. So there was a long time ago, there was a war, and this is the mythology behind it, the war between the gods and the demons. And the way they were fighting the war, where they were churning the ocean in order to get what comes, the cup of life, the holy grail, the elixir that would make them immortal. And they were looking for it in the ocean, and they were both churning the ocean. It was like a tug of war, the gods on one side and the demons on one side, with who was going to get that first. And as they were churning that, what came up or from there, in order to kind of pacify that, Brahma gave a blessing to create Lakshmi, and the goddess rose out of the waters. Now, the essence of this, and when she rose, she was adorned with all of these beautiful jewels, and the elephants put water on her. And so whenever we see a representation of Lakshmi that sits on the two elephants, so I'm going to explain the significance of that too. Abundance is the energy of water. The element of water resembles abundance because it is the flow. It is about the flow. In order to understand abundance, we need to understand that it's like water. You try to hold it too tight in your hands and it will flow out of your fingertips. But if you put your fingers together and you gently pick it up and you pour it, and it has a container or a structure within which you can pour it, that abundance can actually be contained or saved and used for multiple things. So the idea of abundance is that it is abundant in the universe. However, how you get it and then how you use it to create something out of it, because at the end of the day, when you are taking a last breath, you look back and see, what is it that I really created in the world and for myself and for my children or for my descendants and so on and so forth. So what is it that you create as a structure and take in, and how do you invoke that energy and bring it inside you? And how do you understand the flow of the water, that the more you give, the more it'll come through. And it's not something that you need to hold on tight. And the moment you get desperate, that flow just stops. So this is the energy of water, which is why she was born or birthed or came from the water. And she sits on a lotus, and the lotus in a lot of religions resembles purity. The purity of the kind where the roots of the lotus are very earthbound, and it very much grows inside the earth, but its petals are always reaching out to the heavens, resembling that you need to be off the earth and yet on the earth and not off of it. So you need to understand how to navigate the earthly plane without forgetting the fact that you were here to bring in light from above and still continue to always reach out. And abundance is the same way. Like if you absolutely are not grounded and you're just reaching out to higher realms, then you're not understanding how the earth plane really works and how to navigate it in order to create something material on the earth plane. Because we were all souls at one point. We came here in order to create that. This is the only third dimensional plane where we can actually use our hands and our minds to create something that we manifest and imagine into matter, which then gives us an exchange of abundance from the world. But at the same time, if we get too caught up in that abundance and, with fears and any of that, then we're losing our connection with spirit. So we're here to co-create with spirit, and which is why she sits on the lotus. And the elephants adorning her resemble one of the most intelligent animal, approves of her presence, and the elementals. And she has an elemental, she has a presence in the elemental kingdom as well. Which is the kingdom of the earth plane, right? With Gaia. That's her connection with Gaia. So now that said, I'm going to show you her picture if I can. So that's Mother Lakshmi sitting right here on her lotus with the elephants adorning her. And that's Ganesha. Now Ganesha is the son of Shiva and Shakti. And we always invoke Ganesha first in any ritual in India. And there's a reason for that. He was given a vardhan. He was given this gift from all the gods that anytime anybody starts a ritual, you start with invoking Ganesha's presence. So anytime you start any new task or any new thing and you invoke Ganesha's presence before you start it, it will actually go really well and it will succeed, and here's the rest of it. And here's our ritual. So now we always have some elements in the ritual. So the first thing I'm going to do is light this diya with ghee. So I'm going to take, Mother Lakshmi loves her ghee and her white objects. So we're going to take some ghee and put it in my little earthen pot, the way we do it traditionally in India. And I'm going to light this and put a little cotton wick here. And I'm going to light this lamp here to invoke, because without lights, there is no invoking her and Festival of Lights. So she likes her ghee. All right. And then we're going to take the incense, and I'm going to light the incense, because it's all of that, the good scents, the good flowers, all of that that brings her in. So we're going to light our incense and invoke the element of air along with the element of fire. I'm going to offer her a flower. She loves red flowers and white flowers, so a little hard to find in the desert, but where I am. And then some of the offerings that she enjoys. So she loves all kinds of white things. So this is sweetened white rice. And I've added some cardamom and saffron to it. But sweetened white rice is known as kheer. It's a recipe where you boil rice, milk, and sugar for a long time, and then it turns into this sweet dessert made of rice, which she really loves. And then there is milk with some rose water in it, and here I have rose water and I have rose spray. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of rose water on Lakshmi and invoking her energy. And then the two very traditional things that we offer are sindoor. Sindoor is a red essence from a plant, and it resembles, when you put the sindoor, you are putting the dot on the third eye, if a lot of you have seen. And what we're doing is we're adorning them. And the idea of putting the sindoor on your third eye, and then after that you could put that on yourself, is to activate the third eye with the red. And red is considered as a very auspicious color. Then I'm going to take sandalwood. And this is actually ashtagandha, and ashtagandha has like 8 different types of herbs in it, all fragrant herbs, and the ashtagandha. And we're going to put some ashtagandha on Mother Lakshmi and Ganesha, and then on the self. And then we're going to put some sandalwood essential oil. If you have that, that's great. If not, I'm going to dab some of that on Lakshmi, Ganesha, the self. And this is just at the beginning adornments. And now there's a bunch of rituals that go with it. So certain things that Mother Lakshmi loves is anything related to lotus and lotus flowers. So now as I do this ritual and as you attend it, you do not need to have any of these ingredients, because as I do this ritual, I'm asking for Mother Lakshmi to be invoked and hold space for all of us together. So here is known as Kamal Gatta, which is the seeds of the lotus. And Mother Lakshmi loves Kamal Gatta, so we're going to offer the Kamal Gatta to Lakshmi. Then we're going to offer Tulsi, which is holy basil, which is a type of basil plant that grows in India, which is right here. And we're going to offer Tulsi to her. And she loves these little yellow shells, which are known as kauri. And also we get that from. Now, if you don't, you don't have to go all the way to India for it. There are some Indian stores where you can get all these things from again. And then there are some other specific rituals we have. So there are lotus flower seeds right here. And then I have what's called chana. And chana, literally, or chana dal, when you offer chana to Mother Lakshmi, and then you go and put it under a tree, that takes away any negativity related to it. And then, of course, I've put in a coin, but if you have any gold, silver, any kind of metallic objects which resemble money or prosperity for you, you could even use a pyrite. And that is a resemblance. And when you put that coin on a Diwali puja, and then you leave it overnight to get Mother Lakshmi's blessings, and then you put that in your purse, that invites money as well. The other thing that we usually offer to most deities is turmeric, because turmeric is auspicious, and we do the same thing. We are going to put this on the turmeric. And I'm going to start with the Ganesha chant to invoke Ganesha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Devam Sarvakaryashu Sarvada. We invoke Lord Ganesha to come and bless us so that all of our tasks are performed and successful as we perform them. Thank you, Lord Ganesha. Please walk in and grace us with your presence. And now I will do a puja of Lakshmi as I offer her the mala of Kamalgatta. Now this again is lotus seeds, and this is a mala. A mala is usually made out of 108 beads, which you use for chanting. So you start chanting every mantra until you go to the end. And a mala made of Kamalgatta or lotus seeds, when it's put on Diwali day and left there for an entire year, it brings in a lot of blessings from Mother Lakshmi. So that's another ritual procedure. Another procedure that we do is, as you can see, these are two types of shells. This particular shell is a left-handed shell, right? The way it curves. This is known as a shell that Mother Lakshmi loves. So what we're going to do is put in order to purify ourselves, we're going to put in a little bit of water from the Ganges, which is considered as holy water. And we're going to put a little bit of that water. And we're going to add some rose water to it. And we're going to sprinkle that using the shell all around the house to purify the energies of the house, and then a little bit on ourselves to purify the energy. And this particular shell is known as the shank. And the shank is actually something that is used. You may have heard the sound of the shank, where you blow from the shank and it gives you a sound which is the vibration that purifies the environment through its form of sound healing. And now, one of the most important rituals is, this is known as the Shri Yantra. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Shri Yantra. Here's another version of the Shri Yantra. So the Shri Yantra is a combination of multiple different yantras. Now, a yantra is a mandala. It is complex sacred geometry. As you look inside the yantra, you can stare inside the yantra. It is made of very specific sets of triangles and put in a very specific way, and that invokes a certain presence. So the Shri Yantra has the yantra of Lakshmi and Ganesh, and all of these other yantras of the gods and goddesses. It's a combined yantra. And as such, it is sacred geometry that's designed in a very specific way to invoke very specific powers of the deities. The Shri Yantra is the essence of the deities. This is a Shri Yantra made of clear quartz, and is, as such, is third dimensional. So when you wrap Shri Yantra in a red piece of cloth on the Diwali day and put it to Mother Lakshmi, put it to get her blessing, and then you put that in the place where you put your cash, or in the northeast corner of the home, that is considered extremely auspicious. So we're going to wrap the Shri Yantra in a red cloth here and put that on the feet of Mother Lakshmi and ask her to give us her blessing. And leave that here and then put that in our corner. So here are the specific things that we're doing. And now for the most important ritual. And this is, if you really listen in with all your heart, this particular ritual is known as the Mahalakshmi Panjar Strotam. And Panjar means skeleton, meaning it is the very basic essence of Mahalakshmi. It's the very basic core of her essence. And this particular Strotam, or mantra or chant, when spoken with all your heart as you invoke the goddess, you are asking her to take away from your life anything that blocks you from abundance, any old patterning. A lot of abundance blockage is conditioning from our childhood, from our parents. We pick up on on how we use our money and how we save it, all of that from our conditioning. And for that, what we're going to do is we're going to take some camphor, a bunch of pieces of camphor here, which camphor is known to be very purifying, and it burns away any negativity. We're going to take 3 pieces of camphor and put that in my little burning pot. And then on top of that, I'm going to put either some pieces or some coconut. And after doing that, I'm going to chant. We're going to chant the Mahalakshmi Panjar Stotam, and that is going to release. As we chant this, we want you to set the intention to release any curses, hexes, spells, conditioning for you and your ancestry that are in the way of you getting your abundance. I've just put some coconut powder on this. So that is what we're going to do right now. Okay. And Scott, would you play the Mahalakshmi Panjar Stotam?
How's that?
Asya Shri Lakshmi Panjara Mahamantrasya Brahma Rushihi Panktischandaha Shri Mahalakshmi Devata Shrim Bijam Svaha Shakti Shriyai Iti Kilakam Mama Sarva Vishta Siddhyarthe Lakshmi Panjara Stotra Jape Viniyogaha Athadhyanam Om Vande Lakshmim Parishivamayim Shuddha Jambu Nadabam Tejo Rupam Kanakavasanam Sarvabhushojvalangim Bija Puram Kanaka Kalashaha Hema Padmam Dadhanam Adyam Shaktim Bhukti Sakala Jananim Vishnuvamanka Sanstham Sharanam Tvam Prapannosmi Mahalakshmi Hari Priye Prasadam Kuru Deveshi Mai Dushte Paradhini Koti Kandar Palavaniyam Saundaryaika Swarupatam Sarva Mangala Mangalyam Shri Ramam Sharanam Vraje Atha Mula Mantraha Om Shrim Hrim Aim Klim Namo Vishnu Vallabhayai Mahamayayai Kam Kham Gam 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 Namaste Namaste Mam Pahi Pahi Raksha Raksha Dhanam Dhanyam Shriyam Samruddhi Dehi Dehi Shrim Shriyai Namaha Svaha Om Shrim Hrim Aim Klim Namo Jagatjananyai Vatsalyanitaye Cham Cham Jam Jam Yam Namaste Namaste Mam Pahi Pahi Raksha Raksha Shriyam Pratishtham Vaksiddhi Me Dehi Dehi Shrim Shriyai Namaha Svaha Om Shrim Hrim Aim Klim Namaha Siddhi Sevitayai Sakala Vishtadana Dikshitayai Tam Tham Dam Dham Nam Namaste Namaste Mam Pahi Pahi Raksha Raksha Sarvatobhayam Dehi Dehi Shrim Shriyai Namaha Svaha Om Shrim Hrim Aim Klim Namaha Siddhidatriyai Maha Achintya Shaktikayai Tam Tham Dam Dham Nam Namaste Namaste मम पाहि पाहि रक्ष रक्ष मे सर्वाभीष्ट सिद्धिं देहि देहि श्रीं श्रियै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं नमो वाञ्छित पूरिकायै सर्वसिद्धि मूलभूतायै पं भं बं भं मम नमस्ते नमस्ते मम पाहि पाहि रक्ष रक्ष मे मनोवाञ्छितं सर्वार्थभूतं सिद्धिं देहि देहि श्रीं श्रियै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं कमले कमलालये मह्यं प्रसीद प्रसीद महालक्ष्मी तुभ्यं नमो नमस्ते जगत्पितायै यं रं लं वं शं शं सं हं क्षं नमस्ते नमस्ते मम पाहि पाहि रक्ष रक्ष मे वश्याकर्षण मोहन स्तंभनुच्चाटन ताडनचिन्त्य शक्ति वैभवं देहि देहि श्रीं श्रियै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं धात्र्यै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं श्रीं बीजरूपायै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं विष्णुवल्लभायै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं सिद्ध्यै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं बुद्ध्यै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं धृत्यै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं मत्यै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं कान्त्यै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं शान्त्यै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं सर्वतोभद्ररूपायै नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं ऐं क्लीं श्रीं श्रियै नमः स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते ब्रह्मादि वेदमातर्वेदोद्भवे वेदगर्भे सर्वशक्ति शिरोमणे श्रीं हरिवल्लभे ममाभीष्टं पूरय पूरय मम सिद्धिभाजनं कुरु कुरु अमृतं कुरु कुरु अभयं कुरु कुरु सर्वकार्येषु ज्वल ज्वल प्रज्वल प्रज्वल मे सुतशक्तिं दीपय दीपय ममाहितं नाशय नाशय असाध्यकार्यं साधय साधय ह्रीं 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 ग्लौं 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 श्रीं श्रियै नमः स्वाहा। श्री महालक्ष्म्यार्पणम् अस्तु।
Thank you. Thank you for patiently listening to the chant. We repeat the chant a certain number of times so that it registers in the subconscious. And that's the purpose of the repetition of the chant. But this is an extremely powerful chant of Mahalakshmi. It is not just a regular mantra, but it is the Bij mantra, which is the seed chant, like I said, which will, and we now invoke the goddess to please release any blocks to abundance on behalf of all the people on this call. Any ancient curses, hexes, spells, on behalf of them and their ancestry, any conditioning. We ask that all of that be released so they can make a brand new start on this new moon of the Krishna Paksh. And may abundance flow into each and everyone's lives on this call. What you're looking at right now is the Lakshmi yantra. So the proper way to look at a yantra is that you start from the borders, which is this lotus border right here. You go inward and then you let your eyes flow inward all the way to the central dot. And what that central dot resembles is the center of the cosmos. And then from there, once again, you let your eyes roll outward, 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 and all the way out. And you keep going in and out, and that focus helps you concentrate. The purpose of a mantra which repeats, or the purpose of a yantra and focusing, is that it gets you deep into meditation for that specific shape. And that specific shape resembles or brings in the essence of a specific type of energy in the universe, which is associated with that deity. And that's how you stare into a yantra when you are looking at a yantra. And this is Mahalakshmi's yantra. Different goddesses have different yantras that look slightly different. So now that we are complete with the ritual aspect, I'm going to take you into a meditation, because I know this is very new to a lot of you, the ritual aspect. But now that we have paid our respects to the goddess, we're going to actually go and meet the goddess in meditation. Okay, Scott, would you please start the thank you.
Lakshmi mantra.
The mantra, yes, thank you. And so get ready. Close your eyes and take in a. Can you hear my voice clearly over the chant? Maybe we can the volume of the chant just a tad. Thank you. Go ahead and close your eyes, everyone. Get settled in for a meditation. Deep breath in and drop your consciousness with your eyes closed from your head into your heart. And go ahead and enter inside your heart and go all the way into the center of your heart. And all the way in the center of your heart, you're going to find a spark, a tiny little spark. You feel it or see it, just put your hands on your heart and acknowledge the spark, which is the light within you that connects with everything in the universe. Just follow the sound of my voice and go ahead and find the spark in the center of your heart. Deep breath in and expand the spark to become as big as your energy field. Now you walk ahead inside your heart, you're going to open a doorway. Open the door and you're going to find lush green plants and a pathway. We walk through this pathway, and as we go further and further, the plants around you get more fragrant and you smell jasmine all around you. Take in that smell. And then you pass a bunch of rose bushes and the wind gushes and brings the smell of roses around you. And as you go to the very end of the pathway, you see an opening that leads to a very deep lake. As you stand in front of this lake, your eyes are gazing upon the water glistening in the sunlight. The water looks like gold glistening in the sunlight. And as you focus on that water, there in her absolute magnificence, you see Mother Lakshmi come out. Her head first, she comes out of the waters, comes further and further up, and her magnificent presence with her red sari adorned with gold jewels all around and her golden crown, holding a lotus flower in her hand and her other hand blessing you. She gazes at you and you make her connection and you feel her essence. She is the epitome of all abundance. With her presence in your home and your heart, you will never, ever have to worry about any form of lack for anybody that she blesses or anyone's lives that she touches. Are breathing abundance. She puts her hand out and golden rays of light come out from her hand, and right in front of you, they create a bench. This bench is adorned with jewels, and she asks you to sit on that bench. Go ahead and take a seat. And now she points her hands with golden light coming from it onto your solar plexus, the area of your stomach. And she pours her golden light inside your solar plexus, inside your navel. As she blasts her golden light, breathe this in, for it will destroy any old conditioning from the DNA and the ancestry that is related, that stops you from your abundance. Releasing any fears of following your heart with the fear of lack, releasing any conditioning, just melts away as a golden light fills your solar plexus. There is no room left for any darkness there. Any power struggles related to abundance are released. All fears related to abundance are released. Breathe this golden light in and let it float. And now her golden light starts percolating towards your sacrum, your abdomen, your digestion. And as her golden light falls, it releases any disharmony with the collective, any imprints of disharmony from the collective, any imprints of judgment from the collective, any imprints left over from other timelines, from the ancestry, anything in your DNA that is linked to perceptions of judgment that cause limitation are being released. Anything in the way of being in harmony with the flow is being released.
For it is only when we're in harmony with the flow of the universe is when abundance comes to us smoothly. Feel those golden rays go through your entire sacrum, releasing all of that blackness. And now Mother Lakshmi sends her golden light from her hand straight into your heart. And as her golden rays go deep within the layers of your heart space, they release all sadness. Any sadness linked to effort wasted or not acknowledged. Any imbalance between giving and receiving. Anything that stops you from receiving because of past judgments when you did receive. All of them are being burnt away with her sparkling golden light, so that you may be open to receiving all of the abundance that is coming your way and that is being sent your way through Lakshmi's hands right now. Breathe in that golden light. For abundance is a mindset that comes from within. On this day, on this auspicious day of the new moon of Krishna Paksha and Diwali, declare to the universe that I release all blocks to any abundance that I may have created by myself or others may have created upon me across all time, space, dimension, and reality, so that I may allow all the essence of abundance of joy, abundance of acceptance, abundance of peace, abundance of prosperity, abundance that comes in every way, shape, and form that is good and that is of the light. I am open to receiving that abundance from the universe starting this moment on. And I no longer have to hold on to anything too tightly, for I understand that there is always enough in the universe for everyone. And anything that is of my share will abundantly and justly come to me. For now, I have Mother Lakshmi's blessing. And now through your heart, send your love from your heart to Mother Lakshmi and feel your hearts connect, so that you may become one and her essence percolates into every cell of your being. You are one with the Mother. She is you and you are her. Feel her hug you. Feel her heart touching yours. Take in a deep breath and take in all of her essence. Send this beautiful golden light down your spine from your heart all the way down into your root. And then send this golden energy down your legs, down your feet, into the ground, all the way down into the core of Gaia, and anchor this feeling and this essence into Gaia. Know that as you co-create on Gaia, with Gaia, she will assist you in bringing you everything you need to survive and prosper. Not just survive, but prosper. As much as you need will always be available, and a lot more. There is always more than enough. And you can achieve that just by doing what spreads your light the most and performing your mission on earth. And now, as you gently open your eyes, you see Mother Lakshmi's presence still standing there on the waters, on the lotus, glowing, fully glowing in the light, bright and golden. And you bow down to her and you thank her for all of her essence that she has provided to you. And you welcome her in your home. And you ask her to spread this energy of abundance inside your entire home, releasing any negativity present inside your home. For when a goddess walks into your home, any energies that are not of the light get released. We see the golden light coming from her hand, blessing your forehead. You bow down. And Mother Lakshmi now starts going back into the waters, and you see that golden shimmering water in the sun. And then you slowly start coming back. You get up from the bench knowing that the space will always be there for you when you need to go back, and you start coming further and further back to your heart space. And take in a deep breath and then come back into your room in the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, open your eyes. No hurry, take your time. Open your eyes and know that you will always carry her essence with you. And starting the day when all lights come out all across the world, you bring this light inside your home and your hearts, and it stays with you forever. Welcome back, everyone. Right. All right. Well, thank you for joining us again today. I wanted to just leave in my chat my website for anybody that's interested in my work. I work in the Akashic and the Astrology, and I work with a lot of the Vedic. In Vedic astrology, we provide remedies for your charts, and I do a lot of personal work through that. And other than that, thank you all for joining today. Scott, if there's anything you need to say.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much. Very powerful. Thank you very much. Very nice.
Thank you. Oh, happy Diwali, Nipra. Thank you for joining. Happy Diwali, everybody. May the Festival of Lights just bring you all the prosperity. Just wanted to show you a little bit about the string lights here. And yeah, thank you again for joining on this auspicious day, and may your entire year ahead be beautiful. And we will do more rituals like this.
Thank you, Meher. You're looking beautiful, and your house is looking beautiful. Sorry,
It's so good to see you here. Thank you for joining. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali, beautiful. Looking so beautiful. And thank you so much. That meditation was so soothing.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
Much I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Blessings.